From the greatest soccer city in America, it's the St. Louis Ambush in their regular season home finale. Joey Zanaboni alongside my best friend Matt Rocchio. Rock, Ambush coming into the last weekend of the season with a chance at the Shield.
A lot of teams with a chance at the Shield right now. 6 teams have already clinched their 6 spots in the playoffs. 5 of them still fighting for that top spot. You see there, the Blast and the Wave have already played their 23rd game. Tonight, it could be a decider here. Ambush could end up tonight in first place. All depends on what happens with the Sockers in the comments.
St. Louis taking on Utica tonight. Sure was fun last time we played these guys. Ambush waltzed to a 13-0 win, and now we have one of Utica's best players, Bershad Ahmadi.
And he's keeping that streak going. 4 games in a Ambush jersey, 3 goals, 2 assists for Ahmadi. He has continued a scoring streak that has gone back all the way to his time in Utica. He's continued to be great in a new jersey.
Final time at the Family Arena in the regular season. It's the Ambush in Utica right after this on MASL TV.
Here's what I'm thinking about the living room. Double hung windows are classics, but what do you think about casement windows? Or maybe sliding windows? Or even a big bay window? With all the styles Window World offers, I've got tons of options that match my taste and budget perfectly.
Which will you choose?
I might need another house or 2.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. We're nationally recognized as a top heart care provider in the area, and our proud alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables St. Luke's to take on the most challenging cases for the highest level of outcomes in St. Louis. St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, a beat above the rest for a life beyond expectations. For a first diagnosis or a second opinion, make an appointment today.
MITRE is the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, MITRE is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at mitre.com. Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. Think you can predict the MASL? Head over to NXTbets.com to place your wagers on all the MASL action this season.
Beautiful shot of downtown St. Louis, and now the Family Arena just across the Missouri River in St. Charles. We're here live on Axios Field as the Ambush beat Utica City in the regular season home finale. Ambush have clinched a playoff spot. Head coach and owner Jeff Locker. This has been the best season of his tenure, and now the team chasing a top 2 seed. If this squad can win tonight in regulation and on Sunday in regulation at Empire, it'll do just that, get that first round bye. On the other side, Tommy Tanner took over for Everton Morera right before these two teams met in their last game. Tanner serving as general manager and interim head coach of Utica City, in place of the former Ambush head man Morera. Joey Zanaboni alongside Matt Rocchio. Doesn't it feel good to be in a playoff position coming into the last weekend?
Locked into that spot, feels good, but a lot of work ahead. And unfortunately, they left some points on the table over the last 3 or 4 weeks. 4 out of 5 losses for the Ambush. All 4 of those losses, 5-4 losses. Did pick up a point, a couple of them in overtime, but unfortunately dropped too many, and now they've left it up to some potential scoreboard watching, as we'll be taking a look at the Comets and the Sockers throughout tonight's match as well, to see if the Ambush still have a shot at that first seed.
And so much of the success this season has been because of the gloves of that man, Paulo Nascimento. A renaissance year for the 40-year-old Brazilian Rob Lowe. He's between the pipes tonight for the St. Louis Ambush, posed on the other side by Andrew Taylor. Ozzy Santana canals it back. We are off and moving, our final regular season broadcast of the year. Thanks for being with us on Major Arena Soccer League TV. Jeff Michaud, ball in the center circle. Ozzy Santana, mid-season addition for the Ambush, who's made a big difference. Ozzy cutting off the wall. Chili Willie. SK taps it back, and a foul here, the first of the game committed by Wanalava, top 5 in points on this Utica team. Sets the Ambush up just beyond the goal line. Michaud, he's on the go button for the Ambush. Swipes it down into the corner. SK back. And a shot low and hard by Amati, the former Utica man. Sends it to Taylor and net. Utica with its first possession in the back. Cole Stevens allowed a little space. Laser off the Clover side. And Paulo comes out with right boot. Mershad Amati gets to it first. Michaud through Ozzy, he'll get off as he gives it to Chili Willie SK. Good season, especially in blocks for Big Rob Williamson, 4th in the MASL in that category. The team leader feeding over to Colin O'Keefe. O'Keefe from the equator. Over the top, Mario Falzoni looking for the upper 90. Splashes to the glass and refed to Williamson on the Ambush side of the yard. Riley Urey, a guy we've watched grow through MASL 2. Out of West Glover, Vermont, takes it to his left foot. Bangs it off the wall. Looking for it on the other side, Andres Chalbad. Ultimately vacuumed up by the sure hands of Taylor. Urey provides a little pressure for the Ambush. Opening 2 minutes, goose eggs on the scoreboard. Tanner emailing long. Joey Tavernese fighting for a ball after he sent it off the glass. Falzone can't get it all the way loose. Jose Tavares in a hot air balloon over to Kyle Genrich. Williamson, good steal in the back. And ejected by Thayson Santos. The Brazilian sends it to the fans. Ambush ball, 12:38 to go in the first, 0-0. Joey Zanaboni alongside Matthew Rocchio. James Togba, he's a former Utica guy. On the restart, Daniel Torrealba on the shot. Rejected by Taylor and net. Claimed along the wall by Sergio Pinal. Good season for Pinal, top points getter for Utica this season. Togba takes it away, and Torrealba guides it across the midway line. Top points getter for St. Louis, Torrealba going through Ozzy. Couldn't get it back to him. Utica forward, Gio Alves slipped to Manny Silva, and Silva ends up on his derriere. First Ambush foul of the game. Comes about 3 minutes in. Gates on the foul. Free kick for Utica.
First real dangerous chance here for Utica. It's been a back and forth game. No one's been able to establish any consistent offense so far. Of course, in this building for Utica, that is a low bar to clear after last time here.
Willie Spur tries the old saran wrap, and Paulo climbs the small step ladder and snow cones it up over the window pane. Going to the corner is Utica. Last time they were here, Ambush 13, Utica 0. That was on February 21st, though these two teams did play a closer game in Utica on February 16th. Ambush won at 6-4. Good find, good shot. Ambush goalie Paulo makes the save, though, with the splits on Juan Salazar. Once again, it parabolas up over the glass. Utica stays on this end.
The numbers on the back of Salazar's jersey are different than everybody else's. It's going to bother me the whole game. And I didn't want to be the only one out there who was bothered by it. So now all of you get to join in my OCD anger.
Always happy to be part of the party. Spur in on the party. Give back Alves. Round SK, this time trapped by Paulo. Baseball pitch out toward Chile. Chile, Wallace score, no! Second chance, Torrealba denied, then Gates denied. Taylor comes up with a couple of nice saves. Torrealba from point blank, then Gates from distance. Gates trying to pry it away with Torrealba in the corner. SK will resuscitate it outside the goal line. Christian Briggs gives it a whirl. And Taylor tells the guys to settle down after making the save. Good tending on both ends. First 4 minutes, we remain scoreless at Family Arena in St. Charles.
Yeah, you got to give Taylor credit for that one, but really Torrealba got to find a way to redirect that ball a little bit. Taylor does a good job coming out hard on it, takes away his angle, but you're Torrealba. When he gets it on a tee like that in front of the goal, you got to be able to find the corner.
Torrealba sitting on 22 goals plus 10 assists this season for the Ambush. He leads the offense in virtually every category. Colin O'Keefe trying to pry it away from former Ambush Will Niamsi. Ozzy Santana hits it into Niamsi after he failed to clear. Out the fans, Ambush will take it on the sideboard with Mershad playing back through Jeff Michel. This is the St. Louis Ambush in the home finale of the regular season. Sunday will be the final game of the year. The MASL against the Empire Strikers. Remember, the Ambush way back when in November opened up this MASL season against Kansas City. Amati cranks one, knocked down by Taylor. Gordy Gerson got his first touch of the game. Francesco Pagano brought it to the side wall. Kyle Genrich eases it toward the Ambush bench. Santos and Niamsi cross the lateral line. Niamsi goes down of his own accord against O'Keefe. Santana says, I'll take that. Chalbad back to Williamson. Williamson sidesteps. O'Keefe looking downfield. Yuri lurking down there. But a lot of white and light blue jerseys as well down there. Utica in their road white with the vertical light blue stripe. Ambush in the teal jerseys.
Oh, you talk about jerseys. I don't know how to point this out, but Will Niamsi's wearing the wrong shorts. His shorts have the number 99 on them. His jersey is the number 95.
You are the more observant between the two of us. I didn't even notice that, Rocky. Niamsi.
Something I noticed.
Hey, it's good to see him, regardless of what number he wears.
Of the moment. No real reason to point it out. Just feel like everyone needed to know.
Will played here from 2019 through 2025. He's here until about February, as I recall, last season before ending up in Utica. Ambush with the ball in the back. St. Louis this season 12-5-5. Utica 5-13-4. They've struggled on the road this year, 2-7-1. Ambush hoping to close the regular season home slate 7-3-2. Falzoni off of the Niamsi. Ambush set up again in the offensive end as the fans go Freddie Mercury.
Says a lot about this Ambush squad that they've had 6 wins both home and away. It's a tough team when it came to getting wins away from home. So them to lock in and pull half of their regulation win or half of their regular season wins so far away from the Family Arena, it's very impressive work by Locker and company.
Gates whirls it into the winning hands of Taylor. Willie Spur giving off through Alves. 7:50 to go, opening stanza. Nothing in St. Charles, Missouri. Alves comes to get one, then goes down against Ozzie in the Cereal Bowl. A little bit of a delayed whistle, but it does come through for Utica. Tonight's refereeing crew is led by senior referee Shane Butler. Down low, Pinal. Through ball, slipped to Spur. Briggs able to clear away the loose change. Taylor comes to get it.
Joey, I'm 99% sure Juancho's wearing the wrong shorts as well.
7 shots on goal each side. The Utica playing for some pride, especially at this venue where they really struggled a little over a month ago. Alava. Binal, a lot of chances, both teams. Who's going to break through first?
Pinal's usually a pretty good bet to break through. He's one of those guys where it doesn't matter where he's at, creation or shot-wise, points could be coming.
Good block by Ozzie.
Ooh, rough tackle there.
Stripped by Alava and Spur. Utica on the attack through Alves.
Oh!
And off the inside of the post and in.
Gorgeous goal there.
Go, Gio. Gio Alves makes it 1-0 Utica and takes us to our first media timeout. We're in area code 636 and we're at 6:36 remaining in the first. Utica with an early lead. You're watching the St. Louis Ambush and Utica City FC on MASL TV.
MASLsoccer.com, your ultimate home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. Catch the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and so much more. Tune into Soccer Signal as staff writer Joseph Reyna and veteran coach Mark Litton explain the game with perspectives from both sides of the glass. Don't miss Soccer Signal every other Thursday on MASL TV.
Utica an early lead. Goal by Alves, assist by Spur. Ambush back where we started from in the center circle. St. Louis 4-5 this season when the opponent scores first. That goal by Alves was on the third shot on goal in the game for Utica. A little slip up earlier. You've heard of 6-7. It was 3-7 shots on goal. Ambush have 7 shots against Taylor, but nothing to show for it. Let's see if we can change that. Williamson, bad pass, trying to refeed Amati. Stolen, but only briefly by Genrich. Not a ton Paulo could do on that shot. Laid out for it, but perfectly placed by Gio Alves. Ambush on the comeback trail after the 10th goal of the season and the 18th overall game this year by Alves. Amani through ball, Chalbaz. Taylor got mitts on it. And a hard challenge by Falzone results in the first foul since the media timeout. 5:44 to go here in the opening quarter. Fans of the Ambush have announced and are taking orders for 2026-2027 season tickets and partial season tickets. Benefits for season ticket holders will include free parking and guaranteed promotional items. Stay tuned to Ambush social media and the website, stlambush.com, to get locked in for the 2026-2027 season. Utica 1, St. Louis nothing. Manny Silva, sluicing by Martinez, and Ozzy, left foot, and he scores. Trevella's one in off the near post, and Utica, they've touched 2 in off that post to build a deuce lead.
What a beautiful goal from Manny Silva. 21st game of the year. He bags his 6th of the season, and it's the little outside foot goal from the inside foot shot, if you will, outside of the inside foot from Silva. That is a silky little goal to give Utica a surprising little 2-0 lead here early in the first.
Pocket knifes one home. Beautiful finish after getting through a couple of ambush defenders.
Did you just say Manny Silva shanked the ambush?
You said it was a pocket knife.
Yeah, but I mean, you just said Manny Silva shanked the ambush.
I guess you could translate it like that.
It's a very Oz goal call for you.
Oz goal call?
Yeah, like the TV show about the prison. Come on, Joey.
Rocky is the one with the references.
Yes, I'm the one with references of us two, of course.
Fury, dollop ball over the top, able to snuff it to the wall. Wancho challenging against Briggs. Yuri. Ambush have some work to do here. Ozzy Santana.
Plenty of time to do it, though. That's a good sign.
Long shot, parried by Taylor. SK was crashing. Just slips by him, and now through the wickets of Yuri, back to the halfway line. St. Louis this season 2-6 when trailing at half. Now we have almost 20 minutes until that halftime break. See if the guys can get motoring. O'Keefe, corner, Wancho, rip away. Ozzy trying to dance it toward the goal. Ozzy gets a shot off after it was disrupted by Nianzi. O'Keefe chases it to the wall. Wancho turns, Ozzy a shot, smacked away by the feet of Taylor. Ambush, I believe, now with 10 shots on goal. Still up in that category, but trailing 2-0. Michaud. O'Keefe. Spur. Crowbar. Niamsi to Gordy Gerson, a man with clutch goals through his career for Utica. Niamsi penned here by O'Keefe. Ozzy up top as well. Williamson also in the Utica end. Taylor looking for an avenue. Torrealba blockades. Torrealba past Gerson, long touch. Good slide over and win by Spur. Michaud recollects though in the center circle. 3:10 to go, opening quarter. Falzone and Williamson not on the same page. Off the stretch U side into the foot of Niamsi. Randy Martinez over to Daniel Torrealba. Oh! Super Mario Falzone! Not a bicycle, but a Peloton. Falling and crashing to the turf. He can openers at home. Fantastic finish. Falzone. What a moment for St. Louis. A beautiful goal makes it 2-1.
Huge goal for the Ambush. Get one a little bit closer. And of course, it's our man Mario Falzone. Had a huge season for the Ambush this year, and he continues to add it on. Congratulations to Mario Falzone. Continues his strong run as of late. His 15th goal of the season tallies his 22nd point in his 22nd game.
The man from Edinburgh, Scotland, strikes in fantastic fashion, and that hopefully sparks this Ambush offense. Tavares cut off by Tagba. Tagba in the mood to go quick. Martinez, Chalban forward to Santana. Back through SK in the referee's crease. Just over 2 to go in the opening quarter. Fans back into the game after Utica had a couple of beautiful goals of their own. Amadi gets it back from Chalban at the top of the bow and arrow. Serves it left, and it's stolen briefly by Genrich. SK, steal of his own, and guys going tumbling, a couple of them. Tavares after Silva, and the ambush or whistle for the foul.
I had a feeling that was going to get somebody pinched because everyone was going down.
James Tagba, he was with Utica during the 2019-2020 season. He is cited for the foul. Pinal, Secret Service defense by Briggs, trying to back him down from the goal. Wancho up top.
Oh, my Lord! This Utica City team came to ruin the ambush's day, and they're going to do it with Galazzo after Galazzo.
Wancho Salazar. Launching rockets like an Elon Musk impersonator.
His jersey might be an off color. The kit might say 19 and the shorts might say 9, but that puts one more on the board no matter what, Joey.
Only number that matters right now for Utica is 3. They've got a 3-1 lead.
And all three of them have been absolute beauties. Just shows you, if you're going to score on Paolo this year, you got to bring one heck of a highlight reel.
And there's a little frustration from Paul after that. I'm sure everybody on the ambush feeling a little bit out of sorts right now, falling behind a Utica team that is going to be watching alongside everyone else. The MASL playoffs, ambush will be in for sure. If you're just joining us though, trying to clinch one of those top 2 seeds that get you a bye through the opening round. The ambush win their final 2 games in regulation. They're guaranteed a top 2 spot, so very much in line. It's a possible Shield winner. If you can just get San Diego and Kansas City to split and win these 2 in regulation. Yuri looking for a through ball. Good stuffage by Ozzy. Lifted high in the air. Randy Martinez gets the noggin to it. Ozzy Santana out wide. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Santana looking to curl it through. Unfortunately, Taylor waiting right there on a knee. Martinez was in the neighborhood. Now Taylor waits for things to open up. Long launch. Silva battled against Williamson for it. Now Michon feeds back to Big Rob. 10 seconds. Ambush down by 2. Torrealba looking for Martinez long. Headed out by Utica. About 5 seconds to go. Randy back to Daniel Torrealba. Tries his luck. That'll do it though for the opening 15 minutes. 4 beautiful goals. Unfortunately, Utica with 3 of them. Utica City 3, St. Louis Ambush 1. This is the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV.
Here's what I'm thinking about the living room. Double hung windows are classics, but what do you think about casement windows? Or maybe sliding windows? Or even a big bay window? With all the styles Window World offers, I've got tons of options that match my taste and budget perfectly.
Which will you choose?
I might need another house or 2.
Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bostavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. 10 for 10 is back with host Eric Bergrud. New episodes drop Wednesdays on MASL TV.
St. Louis, Ambush, and Utica. Great goal from Silva. Maybe the pick of the bunch as far as the first four go. Though that rocket at the end by Wancho was pretty amazing.
Wancho,
right?
yeah. I mean, anytime you're outside the yellow line, I mean, those, as you all know, we on this broadcast with our good friend Mark Moser,
yes,
are big components that any goal outside the yellow line should be worth extra points, much like it was in the, dare I say, the salad days of arena soccer.
I think salad days is apt.
I think it's probably the most apt description of the difference in those eras. Yeah. Wancho should have him up 4-1, maybe 5-1.
As I recall, Mark had a three-point goal that counted for 3.
Yep.
To spur on the comeback in the 95.
He's a big fan of him for that reason, I think.
NPSL championship because they were down by a lot in that deciding game. And Mark helped to turn him around. He had his number retired. About a month ago here at the Family Arena in St. Charles, very special night. It's hanging in the rafters. Ambush would love to put up another championship banner to go along with that NPSL championship. 1995, that's hanging over the goal that Taylor's now defending. He had to make a bunch of saves against an Ambush attack that's had a little trouble finishing. Can that change here? Ozzy, left foot tries to squeeze it by him in the right leg of Taylor. Rejects it, he snares it out of the air. Finds Spur, Silva looking for a call against his former teammate Amadi, and still confused as to why he did not get it. Ambush will take the ball. Paulo, tough one so far. He pitched the first shutout in the history of the Ambush since returning in 2013 when he played Utica last. Utica, oh, I don't think they remember that.
No, not at all.
Ancient history,
not
right?
A single nightmare.
It's about 35 days ago. They keep coming at him, though. And
I was half
Pagano,
expecting, with what we've seen today, for Pagano to bury that shot, Joey.
Spur has it blocked by Paulo. O'Keefe tries to fight it up the board. Access denied. Spur had it stolen by O'Keefe. Now Simple over the top. Briggs, good find. Super Mario, what's 2? Whoa, whoa! Mario Falzone. This guy's hotter than deep-fried grouper you stuffed in a Party City tiki torch. He's got both for the Ambush. 3-2 ball game.
To go with an on-fire reference and not do a sunflower reference from Mario, just, are you even a child of the 90s, Joey Zanaboni? What a goal by Falzone. Obviously, he's just finishing an incredible effort by the Ambush defense, forcing the turnover, getting the outlet pass, getting it to Mario Falzone in front and behind, I should say, actually behind of that Utica City defense, putting him one-on-one, and then obviously he finishes strong.
Very good season for Christian Briggs. Good find in transition. And as this game goes along, I do think the superior quality of St. Louis will emerge. Utica, though, they're not going to go quietly. Niamsi trying to replicate. He goes over the top, looks for Genrich. Inside Gerson, chested by Paulo. Paulo is still defending, border of the box. Chalban continues to fire poker. Now a hot shot by Tavares. Chalban, I believe, on the block there with his back turned. Martinez gives a small shove to Tavares. Randy off the wall. Niamsi perfectly positioned in front of Chalban. And now Rob Williamson catches some helium up over the pink bar. 11:56 to go in the second. Utica 3, St. Louis 2.
Ambush doing a good job of fighting back. That's really the difference between this Ambush team and previous years. We talked about one thing, their ability to play on the road, but their ability to fight back when they're down. It's just not something that previous Ambush teams had. When they would go down, the game would be over. That's what happened early on in this season. If they went down and got scored on first, they lost those games overwhelmingly. This year, though, they've gotten some fight into them. That's why they've been involved in 8 overtime games this season. So that fight means they're never out.
It seemed like basically every game at the start of the year was going to OT. Just had an OT game against the Sockers. Ambush unfortunately dropped at 5-4. That's been kind of a theme, 5-4 games for the last 5. The losses have been 5-4 for the Ambush. Oh, there's a win in there against Tacoma. It's a little higher scoring. I don't think it'll be 5-4 tonight. I think we'll have more. And Taylor comes out of his box. Alves goes back to the bench. Silva circulates with the ball. Olava putt-putt. Tagba steps in front against Pagano. Off the wall, Olava got it central. Oliveira yields. Down the right side, Cole Stevens was looking for it back from Pagano. Not a great pass. Off the Ambush side, right to the waiting midst of Paulo. He was really fired up after that Falzoni goal. Paulo turns 41 in June. He's still got the energy, and he wants this. You can tell. Doesn't want his Ambush team to let down with the Shield potentially at stake, and of course, staying sharp into the playoffs. O'Keefe. Swish over to Amati. Amati stepping over. Shot blocked. Point right back to O'Keefe off the leg of Juancho Salazar. Now Amati lasering straight into the gloves of Taylor. Taylor, bowling alley, Juancho pirouetting outside to the opposite. 9:34 to go in the second quarter. Ambush down by a goal. Drop back pass. Amati gets in the way. Gerson pursues off the crown of his head. Tumbles to Briggs on the wall. Spur regathers. Restarts with Will Niopsy. Tavares stitching down the right side. A little slippage from Joey Tavernese. O'Keefe on the defense. Amati on the emerge. Running with Ozzie and Jeff Michaud. Ozzie Santana. Underlapping run by Michaud. Corner. Jeff surveys the scene. Ozzie from the gold line. Left foot blocked by Spur at the source. Hustle work by Gerson. Ambush will keep the ball though. Yuri a little less than halfway through this second quarter. Ambush trailing 3-2.
By the way, Joey, we're going to be doing some scoreboard watching today. Nice. Tied up right now in the second between the Sockers and the Comets, 2 apiece right now.
Yuri parasails one across the face of goal. Michaud down low. Falzoni looking for the early hat trick. Couldn't redirect. Utica out of the back. Alves and Gerson bottled by Falzoni, and Falzoni, it's foul on him with 8:07 to go. Gerson clutching his head.
Yeah, they're going to have to call somebody out here. So midfielder and assistant coach for Utica City. Man with over 200 games and almost 400 points in his MASL career, Gordy Gerson's going to have to get a little look at it. He's just going to get helped up here. And looks like he might have twisted his ankle as he's not wanting to put all the weight on it. And they've got 5. Nope, still nobody has replaced Gerson on the field just yet.
And you're right about that scoreboard. We're going to be watching the scoreboard tonight.
Oh, yes.
And on Sunday as well when the Comets and Sockers meet again. Tonight, it's 2-2 in the second. They start about an hour before the Ambush on Sunday. Ambush visiting the Strikers. This evening, Comets and Sockers in KC, and then Sunday they go out to San Diego. We will be watching that, hoping that whoever does not win tonight wins that. split would be lovely. 2 regulation wins for the Ambush would be lovelier. That's lovely from Williamson. Gets it back from Uri. Spinning, tries to get the shot off. Has it blocked. Williamson stays with the play. Good feet from the big man.
Got to give some credit to Juan Alava there, because anybody who's a tad bit weaker, anybody else gets absolutely turned by Williamson, and he's right in front of the goal with a great advantage there. Great job by Alava, forcing him off there.
Torrealba deprived by Taylor, and Santana misses at the near post. He had daylight and didn't get the hit he wanted.
Joey, a soccer team out here, not a T-ball squad, 0 for 2. With it absolutely on a platter, the Ambush so far tonight. Torrealba misses one, and then Santana, with no goalie to stop him that time, just completely whiffs that one to the right side.
Torrealba
Second time we could have said something shanked.
Draws the foul.
Isn't it fun when words can mean 2 things? I think it's fun.
Shawshank Redemption. Ambush
So we're
with
just saying the word.
O'Keefe. Falzone bounces over his head, snatched by the mitts of Taylor.
Last thing the broadcast needs is references to shanking from Shawshank Redemption. It's a dark scene, Joey. Jeez.
Togba in the back. Challenged by Pinal. And the whistle comes out against Pinal. O'Keefe. Rivulets one to Gates. Alava is like, where's everybody at after he cleared it off the board. Briggs came off the bench to grab. Now Amati set it from the goal line. Over the top, chops it to Briggs. Leaping and challenging Taylor, who makes the catch. Looking in transition for Pagano. Pagano against O'Keefe, tries to go around him. Jousted away by Paulo with 6:20 to go in this second quarter. Briggs, who has an assist.
Machado and Santana, a little confusion coming out of the box together, or Martinez, excuse me. They tripped over each other there, Joey.
Michon. Williamson. Good little hezzy move. Taylor again, double-digit saves already for him. Amati cranks it. Santos blockage.
Utica's running a second man at the ball here, and the Ambush are shooting through it instead of passing. When an extra man gets run at the ball like that, you got to move the ball. The Ambush right now are doing a good job. Could we do them better?
Media timeout, second quarter. Ambush down by a goal. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. St. Luke's alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables us to take on the most challenging cases. Make an appointment today.
5:30 to go in the second. Utica 3, St. Louis 2. The Ambush have made it into the first round of the playoffs, guaranteed. Tickets available right now at the Family Arena box office and at Ticketmaster.com. Williamson and Co. Paulo trying to get that first round bye. Need a top 2 seed with the 16.
Could have been disastrous lack of clearance there from Williamson. Good job by the ambush to clean things up, get it out there.
Yeah, Paulo had to take a little contact diving out there. Be interesting to see 6 o'clock Central Time Sunday. Ambush Strikers. Will the Strikers run out their best lineup and go all out with their fate decided? They're going to be the last seed in the playoffs either way. They're kind of the odd duck with so many teams log jam to the top. 31 points at the outset of the day today for Empire. Williamson bashes, rejected by Spur. Ambush will have a watch party as well. Join us at the post. Folks will get there about 5:15 on the 29th. That's Sunday, the post in Lake St. Louis. Michaud over to Torrealba. Torrealba takes a shot from Gerson. He thought he was embellishing. But it's a free kick for St. Louis with Briggs setting it up. Torrealba.
See, look how they're throwing extra bodies at the ball, but the ambushes aren't moving off it enough.
Oh, Torrealba!
I'll bite my tongue. Five-hole.
Jamming like a faulty printer at a Bob Marley tribute show. Good
Well,
find, and
he
then
was
through the wickets.
He was 1-on-2, but he did move, Joey, so my point stands. The movement worked, but the fact that he was, hey, good arm on Torrealba there, almost got it up here. The fact that he was the only one moving was a little bit problematic. Got to give a little bit of a chastise going Utica's way. 2-on-1 there, Niamsi and a second Utica player chasing. One of them's got to try to front the ball. One of them's got to get a foot in there to try to stop that one. Too easy for Torrealba to move off ball, collect that one, and then put it 5-hole in the back of the net.
Gates and Torrealba on a Wallace scorer. We're tied for the first time since it was 0-0. Utica led 2-1, then 3-1. Ambush with a couple unanswered. Falzone and Torrealba on the scoring sheet for St. Louis this evening. Torrealba continues to impress on the list of MVP candidates this year. 23 goals for DT. And he's rocking some new hair as well. Got a platinum blonde with a hint of green. Santos repelled by Amati. Under 3 to go in the second. Pinal chest. Paulo pursues. Williamson keeps it in bubble wrap out on the side. Feed to Santos. I think Silva wanted to get off. Now he will. Genrich and Wancho. This Utica team, Brown starting to slow down. They have been held scoreless so far in the second quarter. Pinal, left foot, Windex work. Chalbant. Martinez, Randy with Ozzy.
Oh.
Off to Ozzy, passes a little behind him. Santana though! Ozzy Santana! Ambush lead!
Talk about differences between the ambush of years back and the ambush of this year. They don't need to be perfect to execute and score goals anymore. This is far from perfect execution, but you get talents like Ozzy Santana, offensive talents like Ozzy Santana, and he has that much of a window, that much time, the lack of an extra defender, just 2-on-2, as Utica City's slow to get back. And you can still score, but that was far from perfect execution. We've gone, Joey, from the point where they wouldn't execute that and they wouldn't score, to where they needed to execute that to actually score consistently, to now where they can still score without executing it consistently. That's how an organization goes from being a team that's growing to a team that's winning.
think you
Good,
hit the
good
nail on
example
the head.
right there in front of us.
It wasn't perfect. Even
Far
though
from.
It looked like basically a give me opportunity.
I mean, that's
with
the
a
most
2-on no.
that's the most like you can't script the more classic MASL goal than cross the goalie's face, tap in on the back post.
Win a ball in the center circle with the rush. The pass wasn't great from Martinez, but little relieved smile from him after Ozzy dragged it back and slashed it home. Ozzy Santana with the goal. Ambush with the first lead of the game. On the St. Louis side, remember the Ambush, when leading at halftime this season, are 6-3. So hopefully this stands for about another 90 seconds before the Orange Slices and the locker rooms. Pagano. Stuffed by Paulo. Of course, this is the last regular season home game, and we will have an extended halftime of 20 minutes. Stick with us on MASL TV. We'll catch you up on what's happening around the league, get you ready for the second half. Under a minute until that halftime break. Ambush tonight in the teal. These jerseys are available for bid now. Jerseys will be autographed at the conclusion of the season and will allow you to get your piece of Ambush history. Check out the link to place your bid on socials or at stlambush.com. Feel the teal. Yuri chasing Niamsi. Niamsi, the former Ambush. Good footwork. Utica attacking through Alves. Pagano. Promptlin's one that dances on the top of the glass. Down in front went Gerson. Mad about the no call. About 20 seconds left in the opening half. Ambush at one point trailed 3-1, now up 4-3. Goals by Falzone in the early going. Torrealba and Ozzy. Pagano, dangerously diagonals, 4 seconds. Torrealba back heels off the wall, and Torrealba downfield will be the final moment of the first half. Ambush closing in on a 13th win overall, a 7th win at home this year. We are through 30 minutes. Ambush 4, Utica City 3. It's halftime at the Family Arena in St. Charles. Fans going nuts as the Ambush have retaken the lead against Utica City. Joey Zanaboni alongside Matt Rocchio. Paulo pitches a shutout in the second quarter. And we've got Ashton Fry with Donnie Alberti down on the sidelines.
Right here with Coach Donnie Alberti. It's 4-3 at halftime right now. What do you believe the boys need to do to keep this lead?
I think we just have to play with a little more energy. Came out kind of flat, kind of picked it up a little bit towards the end, and just keep that going in the second half.
For sure. Thank you so much, and good luck in the next half.
Appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Thanks to Ashton, and thanks to Donnie. It's halftime in the STL. Ambush with a goal lead. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. We're nationally recognized as a top heart care provider in the area, and our proud alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables St. Luke's to take on the most challenging cases for the highest level of outcomes in St. Louis. St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, a beat above the rest for a life beyond expectations. For a first diagnosis or a second opinion, make an appointment today.
shoots, he scores!
How goes it, folks? This is MASL in 5, back for another week. Hope everyone is doing great. Things are heating up across the league, and there are some big matchups happening this weekend. I've only got 5 minutes to fill you in, so let's get to it.
Flores and Sanchez coming forward. Flores! Oh my! What a strike! That might be your goal of the season!
That was for the Wave, the goal of the season for the Wave.
Oscar Flores gave Milwaukee the lead in the last minute against Baltimore last week, but this match is far from done. Chad Porch ties it with 9 seconds left, meaning this one needed overtime.
Led by their coach, Anua Abasi, in his 5th season. Flores! There is your hero! Oscar Flores!
Flores had 5 points in the game, including the game winner right there for the Wave as they top Baltimore 10-9 in a thriller. And Flores has been thrilling fans all campaign. He's having a rookie season for the ages. Just 24 years old, the Venezuelan has 36 points in just 22 games for Milwaukee. Now, this game was no less entertaining. St. Louis and San Diego, it also needed overtime.
Sockers move into a 4-way tie for first place.
The Sockers rally from 4-1 down in the third quarter to drop St. Louis 5-4. They now have a share of first place. It wasn't all bad news for the Ambush on the weekend, though. The day before, they were in Tacoma. They grabbed 3 points as they took down the Stars 7-4 behind 2 goals from Rashad Ahmadi. That Tacoma loss meant that if Empire could win in Utica, the Strikers would qualify for the postseason. That is exactly what they did as they took down UCFC 5-3 on the road on the blue turf in Utica. That same night, Kansas City hosted Baltimore. Both teams desperate for points in the chase for first place. Lesia Thetsane was a beast for the Comets, notching 4 goals as the home side held off the Blast 8-5. And on the 20th, it was a night Utica would just love to forget. In Milwaukee, they got absolutely pumped by the Wave, 17-2, their worst loss of the season. Ian Bennett racking up 3 points in that game. Looking at the standings as we enter the final weekend of play, it's crazy. Baltimore, Milwaukee, San Diego tied for first right now, but Kansas City and St. Louis could also get the Shield. It's going to be madness this weekend. Scoring leaders, Sanchez leading the way with 47 points, followed by Rian Marquez from KC, Super Mario Alvarez with 42 points from Milwaukee, Pereira from Baltimore with 41, Sergio Pinal with 40 from Utica. And your Capelli players of the week, Chris Toth between the posts for San Diego, Oscar Flores offensively from Milwaukee, and Lesia Thetsane on the defensive end from KC. Let's start with Flores, who just had an insane couple of games, 8 points, including, of course, the OT winner against Baltimore. 6 goals, 2 assists in 2 Wave wins. Thetsane, a defender, but man, he was getting it done offensively as well. He had 4 goals in the Kansas City win over the Baltimore Blast. And in goal, Chris Toth was a monster in the win against St. Louis. 14 saves, a .778 save percentage. Okay, time now for your plays of the week.
Stars can't give up a goal here, and they do. Torrealba with nearly the dagger.
Sanchez coming forward. Flores! Oh my! What a strike!
Here's a one-on-one opportunity. Tayu lays off for Mendoza. He pockets it. There's Nani Mendoza. Timey with Frank Tayu.
As there's a shot in the top corner. Thereson Gratterall has one from distance. It's 3-1 Empire.
And the Wave's going to need a big game from Willie Vanaheny today.
Oh, what a great move there. Kavan Fader, and the Jamaican native puts it home.
Back to Silla. Now across, a header. Goal! It is Mello from Silla. And the Blast
Let's go! Led by their coach, Anua Abasi, in his 5th season. Flores! There is your hero! Oscar Flores caps it off. Milwaukee wins it 10-9 in overtime.
And that's all the time we've got for today. But just a reminder, all throughout the season, to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the Major Arena Soccer League, be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Take control. Make a healthy change. Maintain a healthy weight. Exercise regularly. Don't smoke or use smokeless tobacco. Eat a healthy diet. Limit alcohol. Protect yourself from the sun and avoid tanning beds. Protect against sexually transmitted infections. Get screening tests. For more 8 Ways tips, visit siteman.woostel.edu/take control.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. We're nationally recognized as a top heart care provider in the area, and our proud alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables St. Luke's to take on the most challenging cases for the highest level of outcomes in St. Louis. St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, a beat above the rest for a life beyond expectations. For a first diagnosis or a second opinion, make an appointment today.
Halftime in St. Charles, Ambush 4, Utica City 3. A lot of great performances at halftime, including by the Spirit of St. Louis dancers. A number of dance teams out here on Axios Field, where the Ambush fell behind early, had 7 of the first 9 shots in the game, could not solve. Taylor Ballo had an early swat, but Utica was able to score 3 times against him in the first quarter. Taylor, he was clogging things up, but Utica, they were not able to maintain the lead they got from Gio Alves. Alves using the inside of that post. Factor in again when Manny Silva used in with the outside of his foot, beat Paulo near post. 2-0 was the early lead for Utica. And Falzone, a little peloton. How about that fakeroo from the Scotsman? Went with the right foot, just simply by Taylor. Before that, Lancho. 3-1 Utica after 1 quarter. The second quarter, though, Ambush would come back, and it was a service over the top by Briggs to Super Mario, his second of the game. Good find from Briggs. Falzone, his second of the game. He is still on hat-trick watch. The man out of Edinburgh, Scotland, made it 3-2 before Daniel Torrealba was able to tie the game. Torrealba did it after a shot from Gordy Gerson. Gerson didn't like the call. Torrealba, I think it was pretty clear he got fouled right there. O'Keefe through to Gates, and then Torrealba doing what he does. Able to pinch it by Jose Tavares and Taylor, the keeper. Torrealba, 23 goals on the season, made it 3-3. Martinez and Ozzie got loose in transition. Not a perfect pass, but Ozzie dragged it back. For the goal assisted by Randy Martinez to make it 4-3. Ambushed with the lead as the youngsters get their chance at the Family Arena. We'll be back with stats and then the second half right after this. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV.
Here's what I'm thinking about the living room. Double hung windows are classics, but what do you think about casement windows? Or maybe sliding windows? Or even a big bay window? With all the styles Window World offers, I've got tons of options that match my taste and budget perfectly.
Which will you choose?
I might need another house or two.
The Post Sports Bar and Grill. Use promo code AMBUSH online for a buy one, get one free cheesesteak. The Post Sports Bar and Grill. Stay posted.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. St. Luke's alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables us to take on the most challenging cases. Make an appointment today.
Want more MASL action? Follow MASL and St. Louis Ambush on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to MASL TV on YouTube, where you'll find game rebroadcasts, MASL shows, highlights, and more.
Ambush really come out 23-10 on the shots on goal, but it's only gotten them one more shot. Rare for the Utica City 10 today. Andrew Taylor is in line for his first decision of the season. He's appeared in 5 games with no wins, no losses, nothing in OT. Has just 9 saves coming into this season, has 4 today already. And he's gotten some help from his defense with 5 blocked shots. But Utica, after jumping out to that 3-1 lead, have led up 3 straight goals to the Ambush. Now the Ambush trying to get that regulation win. As again, those standings, like me and Joey talked about, very compact. Also, 3 straight goals in the other game tonight. The Comets have taken a little lead over the Sockers as well. So potentially in the second half of these games on MASL TV tonight, we could get some extension in the standings. We'll find out, can the Ambush keep this going right now with a 4-3 lead into halftime? Joey Zanaboni, Matthew Rocky will have the second half for you when we return on the other side here on MASL TV.
Here's what I'm thinking about the living room. Double hung windows are classics, but what do you think about casement windows? Or maybe sliding windows? Or even a big bay window? With all the styles Window World offers, I've got tons of options that match my taste and budget perfectly.
Which will you choose?
I might need another house or two.
Axios Field, Family Arena in St. Charles. The 2026 St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame class was just introduced. President Jim Leaker with multiple members, including John Klein II, NPSL champion with the St. Louis Ambush in 1995. Congrats to all the inductees. Ambush up by a goal over Utica. Last time we took on Utica City FC. Ambush, for the first time since coming back as a franchise in 2013, shut out Utica City, 13-0. UCFC in that game, they couldn't find the back of the net, but the Ambush sure could. Robbie Cristo, he was awesome in that one. Got the Ambush going early before suffering a season-ending injury. Cristo said recently on social media, "I miss him, and we miss him as well." Falzoni and Yuri, a couple of TikTok stars, and Paulo Ebolian after getting his first shutout in his illustrious career. What a shot that is. Our great crew led by John Elam. And this new tradition, DJ Prue and all the flashlights.
You know what, Joey? Going back to Paulo really quickly, we talked to Jamie Swanner before the game, and I asked him, this is a guy who's doing things in his career. He's putting up a season that he's never done in his career. How, at his age, is he pulling off the best season of his career? Jamie Swanner's answer to me was simply because of his age. This is a man who knows how to do his job with perfect efficiency. Less is more for Paulo in net this year for the Ambush, and that's one of the reasons they've been so successful. The only teams that have really scored on him in the last few weeks have been teams that have been able to score absolute bangers. He cleans up the simple ones. He raises the Ambush's floor to win games, and that's why they're in the fight for a top spot this season.
And he should be the MASL Goalkeeper of the Year. Paulo, he's led the league in basically every category this year among goaltenders. Hopefully he's adding some hardware. I think he will at the end of the year. Fans uproarious as the lights come back on and the game comes back on. Ambush in Utica City on MASL TV. Joey Zanaboni alongside my lifelong pal, Matt Rocchio. Amati, who's found a new home in St. Louis through SK. Mashad to Amati. Kangaroo ball. Amati trying to chest it forward. Gets away. As Alava came with the pressure.
Another great defensive win by Juan Alava, where he just uses physicality, bumps an Ambush player off, and honestly saves a really juicy chance at goal for Utica City. Really great play by him.
Silva to him on the other end, and Paulo comes bomb-sledding out. Utica restarting with Pinot. Overlapping run, Genrich. Ozzy gets in front, brings Camp clearance through Pinot. Thanks to all the Ambush faithful who have come out throughout the regular season. Remember, the Ambush will be hosting summer camps, clinics, and a summer 3v3 tournament during the offseason. More info will be available on the Ambush website in the coming weeks and on social media. You can also begin to receive the Ambush newsletter. Sign up now. The newsletter contains information about upcoming events, appearances, tickets, and more. Sign up, stlambush.com.
Ambush just pulled off one of my favorite moves, Joey. The ball was behind the halfway mark, and so the Ambush had a player exit in the further door of the box and then had their other player pop out the closer door of the box. And so they essentially were able to teleport the defender about 10 yards closer to the ball. Really changed how they were playing the defense. Great job of the ambush bench of using, quite literally, the bench to put their defense in a better position. It's the little things in this league.
And clever stuff that can make a difference.
I mean, it was literally, if you're the defender, or if you were the Utica City player with the ball, it looked like the ambush defender teleported. It was incredible.
And Tavares back through Stevens. Gordy refeeds into the cereal bowl. Utica in possession just over 2 minutes into the second half. They led 3-1 after 1 quarter. Ambush led at halftime 4-3. Tavares, Falzone against Stevens. Falzone ventilated out to Yuri. Back to Falzone with the right foot, but hits it right into the keeper.
I mean, you got to give Andrew Taylor credit. Again, Joey, 6 games this season, but no decisions. Has only been on the field to make 9 saves this year, and he perfectly shadowed that play. He's had a couple big body positioning saves so far. Really has kept this game much lower scoring than we could have expected. Ambush could have a 6-3 lead if it wasn't for the game that Taylor was playing right now.
One of 5 goalkeepers currently listed on the Utica roster. We're familiar with Xavier Snare-Williams and, of course, Heiner House. Michaud. Treadmills one to Randy Martinez. And Torrealba on the receiving end, close to the equator. Torrealba, the pull from deep. Silva interferes. Brings Martinez. Michaud back on our side of the lot. Jeff to Briggs. Martinez. Torrealba looking for the corner against Silva. Took a soft shot into the wall, maintains the ball. Michaud trying to slot for Martinez. Banged off the wall by Spur, collected by Alava. Ejection not clean. Gates on the intercept. Now he feeds Michaud. Torrealba! Paulo comes all the way out of the goal to celebrate. Daniel Torrealba, his second of the game in the ambush with a multi-goal lead for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Joey almost ran down there to celebrate. This is the kind of passing you dream of for your MASL team. Perfect little crossing. Gates had worked it across to Michaud. Then Michaud works it back across to the opposite side to Torrealba. Torrealba's crashing. He's working the back post. I mean, literally perfect ball movement, perfect passing. And Jeff Michaud continues what has been a really solid season for him. He had a goal-scoring run there for a while there. Jeff Michaud on this season, well into double digits on his point total. He moves now to his 16 points in his 15th game played. A point per game season for Jeff Michaud. I don't know if he had that in the cards for this season, but he has been really solid. A great defender, a steadying possession and presence, and now putting up points as well.
Williamson skips a pebble to SK. Lead back Amati trying to burn his old team. Flares it wide, and Williamson on the challenge. Commits the foul. It has been a good season for Jeff Michaud. Good veteran presence on this ambush team.
That's the kind of passing, Joey, that I've been harping on wanting to see from this team for 5 years now. And now to finally see it game after game, feels good.
Togba, good takeaway from his knees. Amati couldn't get the pass through to Falzone. Turned back by Wancho. 9:23 to go in the third. Ambush 5, Utica 3. It's those second chances. Mark Moser talked about that. We've had him on the broadcast this year. Years past, it'd be just one before the Ambush had to turn the tide back onto the defensive end. On the defensive end here, Gerson disrupted by Martinez. Only able to loop one softly into the midst of Paulo, but it's been a more focused, more relentless Ambush attack, crisper passing, better finishing.
Sometimes the passing hasn't even been crisp, but the fact they're actually trying it. I mean, those passes across the face of the goalie that really open things up, that work the ball strong side to weak side, it's just they weren't even attempted for a solid 2 or 3 years there.
And getting over that 4-goal mark has been troublesome for this team. Over it tonight, Briggs tried his luck. Taylor dancing with fate on the border of the box. Long ball, Briggs able to cut the cord before it could find its way down to Joey Tavernese. About a minute for the media timeout. We go to the top of the bow and arrow on Paulo's side. 3 on the wall, anchored by Falzone. Alves rolls it. Pinal stuffed by SK. A ball that lacks nutrition. Spins back to Yuri. He and Falzone breaking loose. Riley, great find. Falzone! Another one. And didn't hit it the way he wanted to the first time, then tried to pass it back. Michaud tries to reignite the opportunity. Williamson intercepts the pass on the way out. Uriel started over on the Ambush end. 7:45 left in the third. Ambush up by 2. Michaud. Left foot, window pane, hit off a Utica defender. Went dangerously toward the back post off of Santos. Torrealba again. Swipes it wide. Collected by Wancho. Williamson with Pinal in pursuit. O'Keefe has it blocked by Genrich. Paulo comes out to the corner. And Paulo way out of his box. Looking for the 6th time in the last 7 quarters against Utica that he's posted a 0 for the guys in white and blue. Little dance step for Ozzy.
Oh, gosh.
Almost.
I mean, talk about a little dip on the chip. Ozzy Santana, if he sees the net, he's going to try to shoot it.
Torrealba
Sold
clipped
that
down
well
by Silva. Amadi trying to crochet with SK, and SK comes back, needles it onto the Ambush bench. 6:16 to go in the third. Ambush the only team to score so far in the quarter. 5-3 the lead, courtesy of Torrealba. Ambush closing in on a regular season home finale win on MASL TV.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. We're nationally recognized as a top heart care provider in the area, and our proud alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables St. Luke's to take on the most challenging cases for the highest level of outcomes in St. Louis. St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, a beat above the rest for a life beyond expectations. For a first diagnosis or a second opinion, make an appointment today.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider for the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear.
Stan Musial Branch. Daniel Torrealba. 2 goals plus an assist tonight. Fine evening for Torrealba. It's become just another night at the office for him. Outstanding season to pace the ambush. Gates.
Nice try there. Good acting.
Tagba being tugged now by Silva. I thought Gates had a little case there.
For the Oscar, yeah. Borderline nomination.
They already gave those away last weekend, right?
There's another one coming up, I'm sure.
Chalamet got robbed.
Still haven't seen Marty Supreme.
You like table tennis?
I was just about to say, it's hard to get me in the movie theater for a table tennis movie. I'm sorry, but like, I mean.
Not even going to ask how you feel about the upcoming pickleball movie. Gates staving things off. Utica attacker goes down, side box. Ambush the other way. Tavernese trying to catch up after going down. Tagba poking, back post. Amati to Williamson, but
way
the connection
too much.
Just frayed.
I mean, he overcooked the living daylights out of that one. I mean, Packett said 320, and he put that thing on 425. I mean, way too hard. Williamson, even if he could have got his eyes turned around and on it, I don't know if he could have slowed that one down and redirected it without absolutely careening off to the side. But he liked the look from Amati. I can't harsh him there. I mean, gets again back to that beautiful passing that this ambush team's really opening up.
Treasured chest on the other end by Michaud helps the ambush to win it back. Less than 5 to go, third quarter. Ambush up by 2. After going to halftime with a 4-3 lead, Ozzie pestered heavily on the board. Ozzie works it through. O'Keefe, good touch. O'Keefe saved by Taylor. Ozzie won't be denied, though. Three ambush with braces. It's a trip to the dentist, but more fun for the ambush attack tonight. 6-3, 4:26 to go in the third.
Taylor again doing the yeoman's work, but unfortunately not getting a lot of help there. 3 Utica City players just watch it bounce off the wall, and no one is able to make the quick movement. Ozzie Santana, though, always quick to the ball when there's a goal potentially involved, and he jumps on that one. Another sweet goal from Ozzie. He continues this really great late run for him in this second half of the season for the ambush.
What a pickup he's been. And Donnie Alberti, when he first joined the team, he was very confident that Ozzie would be an impact player. Well, he has certainly stepped it up and been a massive part of this push for the Shields.
Yes, he has, Joey, tonight with a brace. 9 points in his 10 games since coming over here to the ambush. Also, of course, that is his entire MASL career as he joined the league this year with the ambush. So it really has been a solid 10 games for him. You talk about Murshad Amadi, the jumps he's made in the last 5 games. Jeff Michaud's been a big part. Daniel Torrealba and Mario Falzone. When you look at the way they lost point-per-game player Lucas Almeida, they lost point-per-game player Duduka Carvalho Hulk, they lost point-per-game player Robbie Cristo, but they continued to push. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games, still have a chance for first place. It's really hard, I guess, to put into perspective just how incredible this season really has been for this ambush franchise.
Tommy Tanner was one of the few people at Family Arena not happy about the goal. I think he was looking for an elbow call as the ambush maybe cleared a little space in front of Taylor. Taylor, he had kind of resigned smile on his face after that goal went in.
I mean, what are you going to do when you get a kick save like that? It bounces off the wall.
Beautiful save.
Ozzie's right there. None of your defenders are reacting to the ball the way the offender is. I mean, the offensive player is. Can't blame him for being a little bit kind of resigned to his fate on that one.
Well, 4:04 to go in the third. It's Tanner's team that's whistled for a foul. Paulo elevator music, that'll get out of play. A call and response from DJ Prue and Nate the Great with this great ambush crowd. It's been a new feature at the Family Arena. Good call and response after the goals. Jammed by Chalbad, and he'll piece one away in transition. Williamson, good strong turn. Rob down Main Street, give off. Falzone wants the Hattie. Taylor's got to have about 20 saves tonight. This time Karate kicks one into the crowd. Ambush tonight wearing the Heart Association armbands. Heart health, such a big piece of the MASL this year, and such an important cause. Ambush jerseys being auctioned off. Heart health, part of the promo for this team this year. And
I think I want the armbands. I mean, the jerseys are cool, but I mean,
armbands really stand out.
Yeah, the armband's kind of a fun one. Does kind of stand out.
Whose jersey are you going to bid on at stlambush.com?
I mean, I think I gotta go with. I mean, Togba 66 is a good look. Gates 23 I like, but I mean Mashad, that's a special one. I like it.
Going with Mashad. I'm going with Paulo.
Paulo
Give me
is
that
a good
17,
one.
baby.
Problem is you can't hang that jersey up because then you won't be able to sleep.
The only thing you can't save.
Time. No?
That's a good one.
I mean, it's just I thought you were giving me the philosopher thing.
Yeah, that's where I was
What
going
has
with it. Why not?
What has one leg in the morning, 2 legs in the evening, that whole thing?
And 3 in the afternoon?
Yeah, something along
3 in
those lines.
the 2 in the afternoon and 3
2 in the
afternoon,
afternoon, 3 in the evening.
I believe that was the Sphinx's riddle. And
I believe
apparently they found another Sphinx,
one
by
of
the
the
way.
Sphinx's riddle. I think they have multiple ones.
Amati lashes one. O'Keefe.
You know,
almost on the rebound.
You know what I never figure out? Like I should be smart enough, but the whole one guard tells only lies and one guard tells only truths. That's the one that, despite the fact that the 19 iterations I've seen it, it still gets me every time.
Who will guard the guards?
That's an even better question.
Utica guarding the goal as Michaud on the corner. Back to Torrielba, also looking for a hat trick. As it rejected. Where the ambush end up on the table, that is the riddle right now. A lot of different scenarios. Ambush could finish anywhere from 1st to 5th. The regulation win tonight should...
It's wild what could happen.
Certainly help. And again, 2 regulation wins guarantee a first-round bye. And we're hoping that Kansas City and San Diego splits. What's the Sphinx saying about the MASL scoreboard, by the way?
The Sphinx says that after 3 straight for the Comets to take a 6-4 lead, we have now had the Sockers score 2 of the last 3 goals, and it is a 1-goal game, 7-6 in the final 4 minutes of their 3rd quarter. Somehow I believe, Joey, they were ahead of us at one point. They are now 3 minutes behind us.
Yeah, we've kind of picked it up. They've slowed it down. So KC's up by a goal. I guess it doesn't really matter who wins this one as long as they don't win the next one as well.
Yourself if we do this, you're just going to confuse yourself. It gets really weird.
There's a lot of stuff.
Because if you're an ambush fan, the Kansas City getting a win is actually better than San Diego, because Kansas City is at 38 points, whereas
that's right.
With the ambush sit, whereas San Diego sits at 40 points, 2 points ahead. So if anything, if you're an ambush fan, you're hoping no one takes 3 points. Best case scenario if you're an ambush fan right now is the Kansas City Comets win in overtime.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
If you had to ask for anything, that would be best case scenario for the ambush, is a Comets win in overtime. And then as soon as we get to the next game between the Sockers and Comets.
Oh, Niamsi off the bar. Unicorn horn.
On Sunday, things could change. We don't know.
Yuri Jackrabbits one into Taylor, who repels it. Yeah, so if Kansas City wins in overtime, they would be at 40 points.
Through 23 games.
We would be at 41 if we win in regulation.
Through 23 games. And San Diego, or 23, yes, and San Diego would be at 41 points. So essentially at that point, San Diego and the Ambush would be tied for first place at 41 points and 10 regulation wins. We would then go to, I believe, the next closest tiebreaker, which is head-to-head, where the Sockers would have the advantage over the Ambush.
We'll have more time to puzzle things out. Ambush pushing for the Shield in a first-round bye, up 6-3 against Utica. You're watching St. Louis Ambush Soccer on MASL TV.
Get ready to make unforgettable memories with your little ones at Elmo's Got the Moves. The all-new Sesame Street live show coming to your neighborhood. You'll be out of your seat and dancing along with Elmo, Abby, Cookie Monster, and their furry friends. May 3rd, the Family Arena. Tickets available at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. An experience you and your child will treasure long after the final song. Elmo's Got the Moves. See you on Sesame Street.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. St. Luke's alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables us to take on the most challenging cases. Make an appointment today.
Here's what I'm thinking about the living room. Double hung windows are classics, but what do you think about casement windows? Or maybe sliding windows? Or even a big bay window? With all the styles Window World offers, I've got tons of options that match my taste and budget perfectly.
Which will you choose?
I might need another house or two.
Want more MASL action? Follow MASL and St. Louis Ambush on Facebook and Instagram. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bostavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. Think the refs missed one? Find out on Under Review with Phil Levanko and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. The MASL's most controversial show. Catch it every Friday on MASL TV on YouTube.
On to the fourth. From the top of the arch to the top of the MASL. St. Louis Ambush in position tonight to take down Utica and maybe win. The Shield as the top points getters this year.
Well, a little update there, Joey. My apologies on the tiebreaker. No matter what, if the previous situation happens, San Diego is in first place with 41 points. Ambush would be in second place behind the Sockers because the second tiebreaker after regulation wins is flat-out wins. This would be the Ambush's 13th. It would be the Sockers still sitting there with 14. Third tiebreaker is head-to-head, which the Sockers also would own. So right now, Ambush, a chance to be in first place tonight, but we'll see. Still have some work to be done from the Comets side of things. If the Comets win outright against the Sockers, them and the Ambush would also both be at 41 points. But again, the Comets would have it by virtue of their 11 regulation wins to the 10 for the Ambush. I know it's a little bit confusing. A lot of things are going to change. All 5 of the teams in the top 5 spots could shift around because of these last 2 games. Only the 6th and final playoff team, the Empire Strikers, have their seed already locked in. That's also who the Ambush face off against in their final game of the season away at the Inland Empire on Sunday.
And beaten them a couple of times this season. Matt Rocchio continues to work toward his PhD in MASL standings. Daniel Torrealba, athletic trainers have to visit him. He's on his feet, though, and walking. Torrealba, as we check the always updating MASL stats leaderboard, he is now at 24 goals this season. The leader is Alex Sanchez, league leader, and Torrealba at least within a stone's throw of him. Also, Robert Williamson is now 2nd in the league in blocks. He's at 44 behind only Chad Vandergriff, who has 59. Paulo, of course, leads in a lot of categories, goals against, save percentage. 2nd in saves, 3rd in wins this year at the outside of the game. Make sure you check out MASLsoccer.com for the updated leaderboard, the updated standings, all the latest stats, and plenty more. First minute of the 4th quarter, Utica, which finishes its season against Alex Sanchez's Milwaukee Wave team on Sunday. They're paced by Pinal, who chops one off of Michaud. That floats to the fans. It's set up in the corner here for Utica City. Ambush 6, Utica 3.
And Joey, another little update here as things get more interesting. San Diego scoring another one. They have knotted things up at 7 apiece, and they got 7.5 minutes left in what I would assume would have to be the 4th at this point, although it does just say the 3rd. I might have misread that last time, Joey. It appears they are well behind us now in Kansas City. They still have a few minutes left to go in the 3rd. San Diego has tied things up at 7 apiece.
Paulo turns it away. They'll set it up in the corner as well once again. Yeah, I think things have slowed down over there at Cable Dahmer Arena. Independence, Missouri, about a 3.5-hour drive from here. Pinal. Billiards. Michaud intercepts. Pass behind Amati on the exit. Slammed by Taylor, Gerson, Lurking, and Paulo. NBA challenges off the backboard and wins it. SK from the defensive lip of the circle. Chili scoots it. Falzone. Thought about going off wall. No, he does. SK. Tried to blade it in. Falzone. Blocked in front by Tavares. SK continues to try to fire poker at home.
Great
Williamson.
job by Utica, really put it out there on the line to keep this game within reach.
Tavares over to Pinal. Pinal slides it. Juancho. Paulo.
I mean, Dominic Hasek. Kick save right there.
And DJ Prue has anointed him MVP. Fans agree.
I guess it'd be more like Dominique Hasek in this case.
Pagano looking for the hold-up play. Gerson mad after he was fouled by SK closer to the goal line. Hero of mine, Dominic Hasek. He's been a big advocate of Ukrainian freedom in his post-playing career. Very courageous individual as well.
I'm a big fan of the Klitschko's for that reason.
Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko, former heavyweight champs. Steal away by Michaud. I believe it's Vitaly, who's the mayor of Kyiv. Oh, SK, loose ball, Chile! Will SK stealing things like he's in a Nicolas Cage Disney movie. It's a declaration of win-dependence tonight for the St. Louis Ambush to close the home regular season schedule.
I'm going to steal the final win of the Ambush season.
Well, SK, it's been a somewhat quieter statistical year for him, but so many of these defenses are honing in on him, focusing on El Capitan. Chili Willie SK, his leadership, so valuable for this team. And able to put one in the back of the net. After the steal, here's Yuri breaking forward. Yuri disrupted by Lava.
Got to give a lot of credit to the Ambush, Joey. 3-1 game, and they've ripped off 6 straight unanswered goals to really put this one in the pocket to where they can put this one away with some clean play over the next 5-6 minutes. This is a team, again, we talked about it earlier. Don't want to beat a dead horse, but they folded when they went down by multiple goals earlier this season. Going back to last season and the years before, the team would simply not finish games when they went down by multiple goals. This team down 3-1 early in a game, the chance for number 1 on their platter for these next 2 games. Already a chance they've let slip away too many times this season with too many games in overtime, with too many losses in the last 5 games, 5-4, all 4 of those losses. Too many times they've let a potential number 1 slip away. And tonight, they showed up and got things done after that start.
Brings, hoping to yarn one to the back post after the initial chance by Amati. Now a giveaway midfield almost. Genrich couldn't secure it. Amati fights it forward. Niamsi clogs it. Shane Butler leaps to the wall as Niamsi zipped by. Ball played back by Utica, 3.5 into this fourth quarter. Remember, they were up 3-1 at the end of the first quarter.
Yep.
They have not been effective. Of course, Paul has come up with some great saves over the last 2+ periods. Pinal hold up. Briggs jamming him. Giveaway by Alava. Torrealba through Paulo. Not only goalkeeper of the year, perhaps the most valuable player this season. SK Dolphins went back to Torrealba. Ozzy, Daniel Torrealba, Mario Falzone, all with braces. Torrealba wants to be the first with 3. Hot shot turned aside by Taylor. Alves, Salazar, Juancho. Ozzy gets in front of him. Corralled off the wall by Paulo's boots.
Joey, it might seem like a small thing. I might be overreacting. Ozzy Santana's effort there to force Juancho to put in an extra dribble, take away the angle he had for the easy goal, and stop that attack. That's in between Ozzy Santana now and Ozzy Santana in Game 4, where he had 3 or 4 goals in the first few games, but his defense was not there. They didn't know if they could play him as many shifts as they wanted to. Now, look how active he's been this game. It's because when the moment comes and he has to get back on defense, Ozzy Santana is now that effort kind of player.
In the middle, Gerson whiffed, but somehow the ball that lacks nutrition takes a spin in at the back post.
Yeah, Randy Martinez was right there. Unfortunately, couldn't find it in his feet, got a little bit lost with it, and the ball just rolls across the white line.
Yeah, Gerson, you could see, was frustrated for having missed the chance in front, and then Martinez simply misplaced at the back post. Tough way for the Ambush to give up their first goal since the first quarter, but now it's a 3-goal game, and things get a little more interesting with about 10 to play. And for Utica, that's much needed. If you can't be good, you got to be lucky, and lucky there. And see how soon they get the extra attacker onto the turf. Falzone does a good job to buy a foul on a shove by Santos. Chalbot comes forward to start it with Briggs. Off the wall. Hammered by Falzone all the way across field at Peregrine Falcons. Over to Amati, who plays it back. O'Keefe, pass intercepted. Tavares out wide to Spur. Back to Tavares. Paulo, side box. Stayed in the box. I think it hit him in the body as he kind of came out of the box. And there is a challenge flag that goes on the field. Tanner throws it. He is clearly signaling he wants a handball assessed against Paulo. And we'll go to a window world review with 9:24 to go in the fourth. Potential handball.
Utica's challenge for a potential blue card for handling.
And Joey, another quick scoring change. Between our friends over in Kansas City. A few minutes left in that game, and Kansas City, a few minutes left in that third quarter, I should say, in that game, and Kansas City has taken an 8-7 lead.
Shane Butler and his crew taking a look at this.
Ooh, yeah, I think that's a good call. Paulo was out of his box. He sees it, I think.
He was definitely out of the box. Did it hit him in the ribs, or did it hit him in the hand or below? I think that hit him in the ribs. Then did it spring off and touch the glove?
That's a good point, Joey. That's a good point.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. No handling. Utica has lost their challenge.
It's like the Garden of Eden, baby. A rib is pretty darn important. And Paulo, he knew it the whole way. And Tanner did not. He's flummoxed. Ambush, happy that the challenge is denied. Call on the field stands. Thanks to our great video crew this year. Spur, Pagano, back heel roll to him. Spur, Tagba gets a piece to prevent a Wallace-Scora. Spur to Silva, that's Tagba again. Blocks the shot, it caroms down onto the Utica side. Gates, Yuri, Tagba. Now it's SK on that end as well. Gets it unchallenged in the circle and plays back through Paulo. This will be the 11th win of the season for Paulo, who splits duties with Puyo Cortez as well as Jose Ogaz. Who's that off of? Silva says Gates. Gates says Silva. Referee says Silva. Ambush ball on the board. James comes forward. Surfboards it back through Briggs. Under 9 to go. Ambush closing in on a 7-4 win. Utica, though, the last team to score in the game. Briggs ejectors seats. Genrich was bursting forward. He comes back to receive the pass from Gio Alves, who's trying to fire his guys up. Utica trying to rekindle that passion they had at the outset of the game. Wancho drags it. Alves receives it. Wancho to Genrich. Gates. Freight elevators in off of Wancho's chest. Utica controls middle trench. Alava. Wancho. Tagba influenced it away. Gates gets it to the center circle. James tries to chase it down. Now Randy tries to disrupt the pass back to Taylor. Ball over the top. And a 3-line pass. Ambush will take it over in our end. 7:42 to go. Remember, the Ambush have announced and are taking orders for 2026-2027 season tickets and partial season tickets. Benefits for season ticket holders include free parking and guaranteed promo items. Stay tuned on Ambush social media and the STLambush.com website to get locked in for next year. Tori Alba locked in tonight. Unfortunately, Taylor, even though he's given up a bunch of goals, he's been pretty locked in as well.
Yeah, and again, this is a guy who does not have a decision this year. He's appeared 6 times, no decisions. He's been locked in. Good final potential appearance for him this season.
Approaching the decision here, 7 and change to go. Ambush 7, Utica 4. You're watching the St. Louis Ambush on MASL TV.
Here's what I'm thinking about the living room. Double hung windows are classics, but what do you think about casement windows? Or maybe sliding windows? Or even a big bay window? With all the styles Window World offers, I've got tons of options that match my taste and budget perfectly.
Which will you choose?
I might need another house or two.
Michaud on the corner for the ambush. Up by a treble. Final push. Final half quarter. Michaud, clever. Tried to ding it in to Torrealba. Utica able to recover at the last moment. It's been fun tonight. Ambush. Well, it wasn't that fun at the outset.
Joey, if it's been fun tonight, imagine what's going on 4 hours down the highway a little bit. San Diego and Kansas City now just trading goals over and over again. We've had this game tied again for the 6th time tonight. This one's tied now 8-8 after Rian Marquez and Luis Morales trade goals. Just finishing out the third quarter there in Kansas City.
Hey, so good they'll do it twice. Look for it 5 o'clock on Sunday. Ambush will play at 6 o'clock on Sunday at Empire. Ozzy.
By the
has
way,
that one stoned.
Speaking of them playing twice in a row, them finishing this game in regulation tied up is the result that would be quite nice if it happens twice for the ambush.
Yeah, if they go to overtime, then they're going to start to kind of bleed points. And that would be to the benefit of the ambush?
They just keep trading shots. Another Kansas City goal. They just keep going back and forth. Absolutely amazing the amount of times we've seen the score change over there in Kansas City tonight. Another Kansas City lead, this time 9-8 late in the third.
Tavares outside the foot. Oh! Paulo! Defense crazier than Chapel Roan's bodyguard at a children's birthday party. Fingertip save robs Jose Tavares. She's from Missouri, by the way.
There you go. The biggest lead tonight in that game has been a 2-goal lead by the Comets twice, 4-6 and 7-5. The game was tied 2-2 after the first. It got all the way to 7-5 Comets after the second, and now could be looking at a 9-8 Comets lead when they finish out the third. An incredible game going on down the road here from St. Louis, Missouri.
That is over in Independence, home of the great Harry Truman Museum, as well as the Cable Dahmer Arena. The blue turf of the Kansas City Comets.
Who did the Smurf turf first? Them or Boise State? Eric Berger, let me know.
Maybe I'll let you know on 10 for 10.
Looks like they've finally gone to their final break in Kansas City. 9-8 as the third frame finishes over at Cable Dahmer Arena. So a game that has been marred by a lot of stoppages, I've been told, from Kansas City.
Yeah, it's been really slow going over there.
About 15 minutes behind us. When you factor in the amount of time it's going to take for them to take their break, get their quarter started, also the media timeout in there as well. This game, though, still not over. 5 minutes, plenty of time for the Utica squad to play spoilers for an ambush team that, while they also have shown that they can fight back this year, Joey, some of those extra points they've lost in overtime games have been because they've let games slip away from them late. In fact, both of those times they dropped points to the Baltimore Blast, they gave away leads late in those games. So 5 minutes left. Ambush really have to mind their P's and Q's, as we are going to get the sixth attacker here for Utica City just now coming on as Taylor comes off.
Yeah, you got to do it. Tanner
Perfect time.
sending on Alves with the orange 26 jersey. That is Gio Alves, though, who normally wears normally wears 7. He's wearing 26. Speaking of jerseys, Ambush are auctioning off jerseys. That one wasted by Utica. It's the white jerseys of the Ambush that are up for auction tonight. We've had the throwback jerseys, the Action for Autism jerseys, a lot of great jersey auctions, and the white Ambush jerseys are up for auction right now. Make sure you visit stlambush.com, and you can find it at St. Louis Ambush on Instagram, as well as we bid on the jerseys that have white, teal, and pink. 3:55 timeouts. Ambush 7, Utica 4.
Good job here by the Ambush so far, not letting this one slip away. And it looks like the Ambush need to slow things down, talk things over. You're getting the sixth attacker on the field. Like we just talked about, they've let too many games slip away. Too many points have been lost from winning positions late this season. Ambush understand, 5 minutes left, or 4 minutes left at this point. 3 goals, still plenty of things could happen. Good job here, calling the timeout, getting the team calm, cool, and collected.
Yes, indeed. And Jeff Walker, Donnie Alberti, Jamie Swanner in this Ambush timeout. They know it's not over. I mean, still 3:55 to play with for Utica, and 6 attackers is how they'll remain. Taylor was going back to the goal briefly. Now Alves rejoins the party, and Alves will backtrack. He's kind of like the emergency goalie. He may use his hands here in the box, of course. Let's go. Michon drizzles one. O'Keefe takes a shot from Tavares. And O'Keefe and Tavares will have a couple of words. And Tavares like WTH. O'Keefe said it was pretty obvious. They're playing the music they play at the end of a Cardinal win. St. Louis Cardinals got off to a good start in this area down at Busch Stadium, 9-7. Yesterday, Tagba catapults one. We're looking live at that KC San Diego game on the Smurf turf. KC 9, San Diego 8. You got your Eric Bergerud impression ready to go here, Matt?
Not at all, no. I'm just going to try to do something
Nick
really
Bezos.
professional and well. That's my best impression of those guys.
Good guys. Spur and Wancho, right attacking side, back through Binal. Clock drips under 3. Alves interrupted by Tagba. Tagba couldn't run away with it. The Spur, Wancho, Salazar, who scored on a beautiful golazo, giving back to Binal, the top scorer. Spurs set up a goal. Skimming one back to Binal. Alves waiting for it, mishits. Michon can't get it out. It's off the window pane. Pinal knocks it down. Alves off the post after Gerson sent it across the face of goal to Pinal. Got it back to Alves, but Alves bangs one off the pink post. Just over 2 to go. Spur triangulating back with Alves and Pinal. Top group out there for Utica. Wancho into Williamson. Second in the league now in blocks for a reason. Williamson Big block there. Back through Spur. That might skip out. It does. $1.58 left in the change jar. Ambush 7, Utica 4. Another live look, and KC scored
they
again.
had another one.
I think it was Zach Reagan, former Ambush man.
I mean, that offense in Kansas City, we saw it here early in the season, haven't seen it since then. It's so proficient playing off the wall. Maybe the best offense in the entire league, outside of Baltimore, obviously. When they're at home, it's a different thing when it comes to playing off the wall there. But, I mean, Kansas City, full field playing off the wall, they are so good, and it really shows when they can put up 10 goals in just over 3 quarters against a team like San Diego.
That one's on Galazzo. You've got my permission to switch over in less than 90 seconds. Ambush, it should be a win, barring the 6 Utica guys storming back in miraculous fashion. It'll be the 13th overall for St. Louis. Move the Ambush to 41 points. Put them a bit closer to a first-round bye. All they'll need is a regulation win against Empire on Sunday. That'll be 6 o'clock Central the start time. Gates hits it out, under a minute now. Wancho, nothing doing against Williamson. Williamson just too strong.
Great job by the Ambush defense. Didn't have to face a ton of extra shots, and that's because they shelled up well and stopped Utica from getting their movement, and also Utica just failed to get that movement. When you have the man-up advantage, we talk about it all the time, Joey, you have to get crossing, movement, boots through the box, and unfortunately Utica, despite getting that extra man on, failed to do that throughout these last few minutes, and that's why the Ambush are going to walk away. Regulation win number 10, win number 13, and for now, worst case scenario, a share of first place in the MASL.
You making plans for next weekend? What are you going to do with the bye?
Only, not for next weekend, no, but eventually, yes, I'll have plans to be in the family arena for an Ambush playoff game.
Gerson back to Pinal. Wancho. That's what I'm saying. Without
we haven't got to experience the bye before, Joey.
Yeah, without an Ambush game next weekend, you and I are going fishing, right, Rockio?
Is that what we're doing?
Sean.
With the weather in St. Louis, for all we know, we're going either surfing or skiing. It's either 90 or 30, pretty much.
Swim trunks or parkas. Gerson misses 5 seconds.
I'm doing swim trunks either way.
Pinal!
Paulo! MVP! 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 Ambush winning 7-4 in the home regular season finale.
Take a picture of the standings right now before anything else goes final. The St. Louis Ambush, 41 points, are in first place in the MASL through 23 games.
Fantastic. Paulo allowed 3 goals in the first quarter, only 1 in the next 3. Braces for Falzone, Ozzy Santana, and Daniel Torrealba, plus a goal by Chili Willie SK. It's another Ambush winner, 7-3-2 at home this season. What a fantastic ball game, and what a year at the Family Arena. It's not done yet, but in the regular season for the Ambush, sparkling from November through March.
Really an impressive game for the Ambush. 3-1 down, score 6 straight goals, give them a big win. Ozzy Santana, a fantastic game for the Ambush.
Relentless. Santana able to drag one back off a feed from Randy Martinez in the second quarter as the Ambush overcame a 3-1 deficit to take a 4-3 lead at half. Santana added another in the second as the Ambush cruised to a 7-4 win behind a powerful second. Third and fourth quarter outputs. Ozzy Santana, the under the yellow umbrella cutting edge player of the game. Congratulations to Ozzy. Thank you to our partners. And under the yellow umbrella, shout out to Kyle Goose Rudy with that great organization that brings businesses together across St. Charles, Missouri under the yellow umbrella. It's a lot of fun tonight, and it keeps on going. We've got Ashton Fry with the man of the moment, Ozzie Santana, down on Axios Field.
Ashton Fry here with Ozzie Santana. This was such a high energy match. You guys won 7-4. You got the under yellow plaque. What does this moment mean to you?
Means a lot. We knew that the game would not be easy. And I mean, we are proud of our teammates, and we go again on Sunday.
Yeah, you guys are playing the Empire Strikers. What are you hoping the team does in that match?
I believe that we can do better than today. To be honest, we start off a little bit slow. But we're going to fix that, and we're going to be ready for that game and then for the playoffs after that.
For sure. Now, for the fans, do you have anything you would like to say to them?
Just a big thank you. Your support means a lot to us, and we are very happy to see the displays package today.
For sure. Congrats on the win. Thank you, Ozzie.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you to Ashton. Thank you to Ozzie. Looks like we'll have a visitor from Utica as well, but first let's go to a break. This is the St. Louis Ambush and Utica City FC on MASL TV.
Jefferson Starship, the Runaway Again Tour. Saturday, September 26th, the Family Arena. Also featuring Atlanta Rhythm Section, Firefall, and Orleans. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Jefferson Starship, featuring Atlanta Rhythm Section, Firefall, and Orleans.
Take control. Make a healthy change. Maintain a healthy weight. Exercise regularly. Don't smoke or use smokeless tobacco. Eat a healthy diet. Limit alcohol. Protect yourself from the sun and avoid tanning beds. Protect against sexually transmitted infections. Get screening tests. For more 8 Ways tips, visit siteman.woostel.edu/take control.
Victory at Family Arena for the St. Louis Ambush. Final score 7-4. I'm Joey Santaboni. He's Matt Rocchio. Matt, your thoughts on this W?
Really was important. We kept talking about it. They came back and then they were able to stabilize the game, and that's been something we haven't seen. Early problems have doomed them. Late regression has doomed them as well. The Ambush, though, really solid in the middle of the game, took advantage of what they needed to do, took care of business. They sit at 41 points. If things keep going the way they are over in Kansas City and the Comets win that one in regulation, they will drop down to second place with those 41 points, but nonetheless still a chance that they're leading this entire MASL when tonight enters, but obviously everything goes final after Sunday.
Our eyes will be super glued to MASLsoccer.com, as well as MASL TV and CBS Sports. Galazzo, well, it didn't start all that well for the Ambush. Down 3-1 after the first quarter. Clever goal from Falzone was an early highlight. But then in the second, as Ozzie Santana said, these guys busted out of a slow start and got going. Falzone ended up with a brace. Daniel Torrealba, same dealio. 2-goal performance from him, as well as Ozzie Santana. He was down on the field with Ashton Fry, who also had Joey Tavernese in arena for these Ambush and Utica fans. Thank you to both Ashton, Joey, and of course Ozzy, Daniel Torrealba. This guy's been something else. 24 goals now on the season. Ozzy Santana, fantastic midseason pickup. Ambush just kept coming. Chili Willie SK, fitting that the veteran captain should find his way into the back of the net. A little miscue by Martinez toward the end, but the Ambush comfortably win this one. Final score of 7-4. What a regular season it has been. Thank you to Jeff Locker and Shelly Clark, owners of the St. Louis Ambush. And special shout out to Shelly on becoming a grandmother. Thank you for having us, as always, on the broadcast. Shelly, we've got plenty more thank yous. Thanks to our director and TD, John Elam, our AD, Marty Bustler, Amber Pickens, Justin MG, Lauren MG, for keeping us going up here in the box. Our replay coordinator, Christopher Log. Our camera operators, Andy Conan, John Mina, Braden Proctor, John Pagano, Joe Duvall. Fantastic work all season long at the Family Arena. The Ambush have made it into the MASL playoffs. Tickets are available at the box office and online at Ticketmaster.com. Make sure you check out STLambush.com for the playoff scheduling. Ambush going to California to take on the Strikers Sunday at 6. That'll determine their playoff seeding. For Matt Rocchio, I'm Joey Zanaboni saying so long. This has been the St. Louis Ambush on MASL TV.
Here's what I'm thinking about the living room. Double hung windows are classics, but what do you think about casement windows? Or maybe sliding windows? Or even a big bay window? With all the styles Window World offers, I've got tons of options that match my taste and budget perfectly.
Which will you choose?
I might need another house or two.
The Post Sports Bar and Grill. Use promo code AMBUSH online for a buy one, get one free cheesesteak. The Post Sports Bar and Grill. Stay posted.
At St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, we understand that care is more than treatment. It's about living your best life. We're nationally recognized as a top heart care provider in the area, and our proud alliance with Cleveland Clinic's Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute enables St. Luke's to take on the most challenging cases for the highest level of outcomes in St. Louis. St. Luke's Heart and Vascular Institute, a beat above the rest for a life beyond expectations. For a first diagnosis or a second opinion, make an appointment today.